Have you ever laughed from a really, really dark joke, and after you do it, you feel dirty inside because of how you reacted to it? Well, that's how this manga feels, except for the laughing part. Hey guys, Guti here. Today we will be taking a look at Ichi the Killer. But before that, I have to warn you. This manga is graphic and beyond insane. If you're going to read it, be prepared for some really messed up stuff. With that out of the way, what is it actually about? Well, the story takes place in Shinjuku, a Japanese city filled to the brim with corruption. However, said corruption and crimes are hidden behind a peace treaty between all Yakuza gangs. So, as long as they do not take things too far in an all-out war, they can basically do whatever they want, from prostitution to torture. Now, in this grim environment, 5 apparently random thugs take the hit of their lives by killing one of the leaders of Yakuza gang, and at the same time taking all of their money. By killing that Yakuza leader, his son, Kakihara, takes his place as the new boss of the gang, and is now set to take revenge, especially against Ichi, the killer who murdered his father. So, in short, the story follows this conflict between the 5 gangless thugs and Kakihara, each side trying to kill one another and saving themselves. It's a game of cat and mouse with the most horrific implications. But the story is not really that important. The characters are the moving force here. And let me tell you, this is where this manga excels, but also uncannies the shit out of you. So, to exemplify, let's talk about one of its most important characters, Kakihara. Now, as I have told you already, Kakihara is a Yakuza who takes the role of a gang boss after his father's death. However, this guy's messed up. He's a masochist. Now, I'm not trying to king shame people here or anything like that, but this fucking guy is the definition of messed up. He got his mouth good from side to side for fun. He loves to pierce people's hands or cheeks or bones. And he cannot feel pleasure unless it comes from inflicting pain on others or receiving pain from others. Now, here's the thing. Kakihara is not just an anomaly in this story. Oh no. He's just one example of how every single character here works, as Kakihara will sacrifice anything to achieve his own twisted masochistic pleasure, so does everyone else for their own respective pleasure. And this is where the manga starts to really disturb you. Despite all of the exaggerated horrors on them, you can understand these characters and their actions to a certain extent. Even though the manga doesn't have any internal monologues, you can get these characters and their motivation from their actions alone. And let me tell you, it is really hard to realize that deep down we all have some creepy desires, not unlike those of this necrophilic character, for example. And so, this manga hits you with that kind of perspective over characters that normally will just be considered monsters without understanding nor reasoning behind them. But here, that's just a standard inhabitant of Shinjuku. Regarding the action, there isn't any fights or epic moments per se, and confrontations often end quickly and abruptly, which gives the story a sense of realism. Characters can't just keep fighting when they are stabbed, shot, or injured in some other way. Likewise, despite some really exaggerated feats of strength and endurance by some characters, no one in this manga can take on several enemies at the time or fight it out of any situation like it was nothing. You will often know when characters get to their final fate, and this manga doesn't really have any plot armor. Quite the opposite actually, characters will often be betrayed by plot. Now, about the art, this story really knows how to scare you and make you feel miserable. Everything feels painful and awfully disturbing, with some of the most utterly horrible face expressions I have ever seen in a manga. And I say that in the best of ways. After finishing this manga, I honestly felt dumbstruck with an unpleasant feeling of what was the meaning of all of this. And after reading many of your comments and seeing different interpretations of the ending as well as the rest of the story, I can only say that this is a story designed and carefully constructed to make you feel this way. If you considered art to be a piece that makes you feel in a specific way, 10, this manga is a masterpiece. Despite that, I cannot recommend this series to everyone, as again, it's deeply disturbing from beginning to end. However, if you're up to it, go give it a read, it's just that great. If you like my content and want to support it, I highly suggest you click that subscribe button below. And if you're feeling extra generous, you can buy me a coffee opening the link in the description. More and better videos are coming. If you have mangas you would like me to cover, please let me know in the comments, every single one. Also guys, the awesome colorings you have seen along this video were made by a great guy whose channel you can check in the link in the description. Go give him some love. With no more to say, remember, keep struggling and keep getting stronger.